Hi everyone, it's Caitlin again. So by now you should have your model set up in Padlet. I still have mine super simple with just those first few connections that we talked about earlier. Yours will of course have much more. As your team were setting up your model, you were prompted to create these conditional statements that predicted how your research team thought one component or process might affect other factors in your models. Now that it's all set up, we can use those conditional statements to help us think logically about how these different factors might affect the decomposition rate of Morro Canyon. Some of these factors might have a direct impact on decomposition rate. So, for example, the relationship between soil moisture and decomposition rate in my model is direct because they are directly linked with no intermediate factors between them. That means if I want to look at how a change in soil moisture might impact decomposition rate, I only need to look at this one set of conditional statements. But what if there are indirect relationships that affect decomposition rates as well? How do we know how an indirect component will affect decomposition? Let's take woody mulch, for example, since we set that relationship earlier. It's 2 steps away, so there isn't a direct relationship between woody mulch and decomposition rate. However, I can use the conditional statements to set up a proof just like you might in geometry to help me think through the logic in how woody mulch might affect decomposition rate. So first, I want to know what happens to the decomposition rate if there is an increase in woody mulch being used at our restoration site in Morro Canyon. I'll write that question down in my field notebook. Then I'll start at woody mulch and follow the first conditional. If woody mulch increases, because that's what we're asking about, then soil moisture increases. Now we're getting a little closer to decomposition. Here I have a second pair of conditionals, and I'll want to continue with the same logic. If soil moisture increases, because that's what we determined from our conditional, if soil moisture increases, then the decomposition rate increases. Therefore, I can conclude by my proof that saying if woody mulch increases, the decomposition rate will increase. My model predicts that if we use woody mulch in our experiment in Crystal Cove, then the decomposition rate will increase. So that's it. Go ahead and play with your model and see how those changes to the ecosystem might affect decomposition rate by following your conditionals. Make sure to test the relationship of both kinds of mulch, as well as 2 or 3 other factors in the environment that are not directly connected to decomposition rate. All right, good luck.